me, I've got 2 kids now. I've got a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, and just every time I think of IFE, I just see the poster with the guy in his high vi with the kid over his shoulder and the teddy bear, and I just see my 2 boys, Freddie and Oscar, at home, and I think that as an image just says everything. And just you see the guys out on site, and you just see they're not operatives, they're family men, and they should be going home to their kids because it's just a day at work.
At home it's changed quite a lot. I no longer stand on the table, I get the steps out. I've had a loft ladder installed to save climbing on the steps.
Skanska cares for the employees outside of the workplace too, and I think that's a big thing for a company to do, because IFE extends beyond the workplace.
Cutting the grass with shoes on and not bare feet, turning the electric off when you're using the hose pipe in the garden, just general things that you should do, and now we are doing.
It's not you have to think about, it's the people which you leave behind, and go to that meeting. It does help us in many different ways, not just here, also at home as well, to know that you leave here and you go home safe and you look after each another one, because they said communication is the best policy of life. So if we all communicate with each another, safety is very important, and important is looking after each and every one of us. And we always try to do that.
Not just rush into things and just think about other people working around you, and just in general you'd seem to work a bit more safely. And
the environment out there is always changing, you know, so day in, day out there's always something different. You know, you've just got to be hands-on with this kind of thing, I think. So, but it takes us out there to bring it up. You know, people in the office don't always see it, so as long as we're not too scared to approach them, which is what the IFE basically does, I think that's, you know, if everyone's doing that, we can make a change.
Before I used to get it done. Now I don't. My first consideration is, are they working okay? Are they safe? Are they going to be able to achieve what they want to do in the time they want to do in the safe manner?
I've always been quite safety conscious anyway, but I'm more tending to look at how I look at safety and how I put it across to the guys that I'm working with, and to see what their understanding and how they feel about it, rather than just saying, right, that's in the rule book, that's what you've got to do. So yeah, it's definitely changed my outlook on it.
Whereas before they used to just stick a card in and say, you know, this was a near miss. What happens is now they talk to each other. The actual trade people talk to each other. 9 times out of 10 they don't even get us involved, Skanska managers involved. They're doing it themselves, between themselves. And you can see there's a respect culture now throughout the site, and people are genuinely looking after each other, and that's brilliant.
Caring about people. I'm not just looking after safety for a job, I'm looking after people because I care. And I don't want to injure people, and I don't want to get injured myself.
I come to work now knowing that I'm going to be looked after, and equally knowing I can look after people without recrimination. Nobody's going to tell me to clear off, nobody's going to be angry with me for telling them they're doing something in the wrong way. Skanska
at the Sense has become more involved and more caring of the employees and fellow Skanska friends and colleagues. I think if there wasn't an IFE, anything that happened, it would just have happened. But there's always a consequence, and people seem to be more aware of the person.
To take responsibility of my actions at my working place.
There's many things I've taken on board, not only what I've learned at work, but obviously the way I incorporate things at home.
I think first of all, IFE is more than just health and safety. It's a way of life. And I think most importantly is how we interact with everybody that we come in contact with from all levels of the company and our subcontractors. So that's from operatives to management to senior management. It's a way we behave with one another and interact in a positive, in a way that we're looking after people. We're actually looking after one another.
Well, I feel it's easy to talk to, like say, the managers and that about safety, and they're always easy to speak to and to go to. And that, you know, so.
I think the supervisors are buying into it, and they've started realising that it's not a question of telling people what to do, it's actually talking to people. And where we've got away from that idea, you're doing that because I've told you to, because it's a site rule, I think we're now getting more of a conversation, and we find out if I explain it to blokes while we're asking them to doing it, we got a better feedback. And we've started to listen to other people. We started to realise there are tradesmen out there that have been doing a job for years. They might have some good ideas that Skanska can benefit from.
I think over the last year predominantly we've been working on tenders and bids. I think it's enabled us to talk a bit more in tender submissions and presentations with a bit more passion about what we do in terms of health and safety.
I think we're on the start of a very long journey. So I think if it's doing, it's actually keeping going and not taking, when I say the pressure off, but not taking the eye off the ball.
In these first couple of years, I think we've built up a huge amount of enthusiasm and momentum, and we just need to keep going. It's a journey without end.